and we following the money. I'm out here today in Long Beach, California, sitting on Long Beach Boulevard, and I'm not supposed to be drinking coffee because I'm so amped up of a person. I got a lot of energy. So when I drink coffee, it just makes me a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, animated. But I'm going to take my little sip today, you feel me? And right now we're going to talk about if it's a Kamala or is it Trump? Because I'm following the money. Which one is going to bring us to prosperity? Which one is going to bring this country down? And I'm going to be honest with you guys. Neither one of them could make economic change in your life. It has to be you. Because right now we're living in a time that I call one of the greatest exchanges of wealth ever in the history of the world. But also, it also represents one of the greatest devastating economic times ever in the history of the world, because simultaneously every fiat currency is decreasing and declining in value, and inflation is going up to an all-time high, and people don't know what to do. I remember when through history, as I study history, there was a period of evolutionary change called the agricultural period, where there was sharecropping going on all over the world. My people, indigenous people around the world, were a part of this thing called slavery that pretty much empowered countries around the world economically. It put America in a position, it put Britain in a position, it put France in a position, Spain in a position to get free labor. And after the agricultural period, we had a thing called the industrial period, where things went from agricultural, then it went to industrial, where people had good jobs and all this stuff was booming, and America had one of the biggest, largest middle classes in the world. Then we went from there to the technology department, a technological revolution. We went from agricultural revolution to industrial revolution to technology revolution. But now we're heading into a different revolution, which is the digital revolution. Damn. And so a lot of people look at ebcrypto and they say, Eric, man, you come from the world of real estate. Why in the hell did you go from an industry where there was material wealth you could touch, real estate? I came from real estate. And in real estate, I learned and I became an expert in value. I didn't sell real estate. I was an appraiser. So I appraised properties. I was able to tell people what their property worth, tell people what their commercial property was worth, what their business is worth. I was able to tell people the value, and I was certified in value of office buildings, retail buildings, golf courses. I became an expert in value. And at some point in my life, I switched it up and I started studying blockchain technology because I saw an intrinsic value, an invisible value in this technology that people didn't understand. And when I saw this, a lot of people said, EB, why you go from digital technology? Why did you go from something physical to something you can't even see? You can't see cryptocurrency. You can't see blockchain technology. Why did you go to something, AB, that you can see to something you can't see? And I tell them, just because you can't see something don't mean it ain't valuable. Check it out. Can you see oxygen? No. But I think oxygen is very valuable. Can you see gravity? No. But gravity is something you'll see when you jump off that building. You'll see it when you hit the ground. So this technology right now has the ability to redefine money, period. Like I started off this video, we're living in the greatest exchange of wealth ever in the history of the world, and we're also living in the greatest exchange and devastation of economic and of economies around the world. So it's two things happening. We're living in the greatest exchange of wealth ever in the history of the world, and the greatest devastation of economics ever in the history of the world. What side you're going to be on is going to be determined by what you know. Damn. What side you're going to be on is going to be determined by what you know. So my mission is to make sure my people don't miss out on this revolution. We missed out on a technological revolution. Okay, now we're in a digital revolution. We missed out on a lot of us in my era missed out on the industrial revolution because most of our parents caught that revolution and we didn't catch that revolution. But now this is a digital revolution happening, and you can be a part of this particular digital revolution, and you can position yourself and your family. It's not too late for one of the greatest exchanges of wealth in the history of the world. Now, again, like I said, this video is two sides. This is the greatest economic devastation ever in the world, or it's the greatest economic exchange of wealth in the world. It all depends on what side you're going to be on. If you don't do nothing, you're going to be on the side of the greatest economic devastation in the world. If you decide to do something, you're going to be changing your mindset, changing the way you think, changing the way you understand money, and positioning yourself to catch some of this wealth. Now, I'm always telling people that blockchain technology has the ability to disrupt. Okay, now, what I'm going to tell you guys, in 2021, there was a meeting in Davos. Davos is where all the multi-billionaires and millionaires go and meet. Okay, and in this meeting, they all said that blockchain technology had the ability to disrupt, I think it was $867 trillion worth of businesses. Now, right now, we're seeing the world colliding economically because time is up. This economics that we are on it's exhausted its knowledge. It's exhausted its usefulness. Okay? You got people going to college right now. You got people getting degrees and going to school and coming out of 4 or 5 years degrees, and they're in debt, and they are getting these jobs that they could have gotten before they even went to college. Everything's upside down. It's time, you guys, for a new technology to come about. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys something. I saw a commercial the other day. It's a Wells Fargo commercial. You might have saw it. And it says, one day you're gonna wake up and there's gonna be no cash in your account, and we're gonna switch it to a digital system. I'm sure you saw this video. And I'm saying this. One of the reasons I saw value in blockchain technology, because it's a decentralized technology, meaning that one of the problems I saw in the world was hacking. Hacking is a huge problem in the world. And the only way that people are able to hack is they go into a system where there's one point of entry, the server, and once they hack that server, they have access to millions of people's information. Millions of people's information. Now, on a decentralized system, that doesn't exist. There's no way they can do that on a decentralized system, because you have networks upon networks upon networks, and they would have to hack 100 million people in that network simultaneously at the same time all around the world. It's virtually impossible. So I saw blockchain technology as valuable in that aspect. Also, I saw with blockchain technology that they said Trump or somebody said Trump or something harass. Okay, we're talking about neither one of them is going to be able to restore this economy. We got to think for ourselves. We're going to have to reevaluate money, reevaluate what's going on in the world, how money is being made, and we're going to have to reevaluate the definition of money. What is money? You know, most of us think currency is money, and currency is not money. It's two different things. Currency is used to make transactions, but it's not all the way in the definition of money. I'll tell you guys about that more later. But I noticed that in this particular world right now, every fiat currency in the world is crashing. Now, they asked Kamala Harris yesterday question about inflation and what was she going to do about inflation. And her answer was, well, inflation is where the cost of living goes up every day and this and that, and you know, things are getting higher and higher every day. They didn't ask you the definition of inflation. They asked you what you were going to do about inflation. Then also Donald Trump. When they asked Donald Trump, he calls the what they call Black Monday, this Monday when we had this huge economic crash, they called it Black Monday. I don't know where black came in, but they called it Black Monday. And Donald Trump called it Kamala crash. Well, Kamala had nothing to do with that crash. Kamala has nothing to do with that crash, Donald. No president and no candidate for presidency has anything to do with the economy. Okay, I want to get that. I want you guys to understand the economy is ran by banks. Okay, but blockchain technology has the ability to disrupt corporations and what's happening today, interest rates, all this different stuff that's going on. Blockchain technology has nothing to do with that. Like when you have a cryptocurrency, it's based on supply and demand. It's not based on interest rates. It's not based on gross domestic product. It's not based on all these different factors and mitigating factors that money is dependent on. So right now is a time for us to all get in. My mission, ebcrypto, is to make sure my people don't miss out, man. Don't miss out on this great exchange of wealth that's happening. And like I said, it looks doom and gloom right now. Right now, things look doom and gloom. Right now, things look bad because we have Japan economy crashing. They're going up on their interest rates. Right now, inflation is going crazy in the United States. We got this foreign problem with all of these foreigners coming into the country. The other day, UK erupted in riots. There's so much going on in the world. We got the situation in Israel right now with Hamas. We have the situation going on in Ukraine. There's so much happening in the world. I'll never not have something to talk about. But my focus is money. My focus is how we get to the bag. And once we get to the bag, how do we keep the bag? And in order to get to the bag today, you got to change the way you think, and you got to understand the money is changing forever. Okay? Now, I don't care who wins, Kamala or Trump. I'm going to be putting myself and my family in position to get the bag. And right now, blockchain technology is the fastest way to change your life. If you're not a programmer, it's okay. If you don't have millions of dollars, it's okay. If you're at the right place at the right time with the right people, I guarantee you, you're going to come up. and like I said, blockchain technology, you know, it's just so powerful. It's the most creative technology that's in the 21st century, hands down. So you can't go wrong with technology. I see people putting Trump, 2024, more power to you, Bitcoin. Yeah, and I saw Trump's son actually made a comment about cryptocurrency, and Trump went to the 2024 Bitcoin conference because he's understanding as a businessman the power of cryptocurrency, but not Kamala Harris, not Trump. Neither one of them can negatively affect Bitcoin, cryptocurrency as a whole. Now, I'm not talking about these meme coins. I'm not talking about these coins. There was a coin came out yesterday behind the name of Kamala Harris's VP, and these are pump and dump coins, okay? Because there's momentum going and everybody's looking at that subject, what's going to happen is, boom, they're going to buy that coin. But the people that start that coin, when it gets to its highest, they're going to sell their coins and dump and leave you guys hanging. Those are not the kind of coins I'm talking about. I'm talking about technology. I'm talking about cryptocurrency that has a real function, that has real purpose behind it, and has a use case where people are actually using that crypto. So one of the companies you'll see me talking about is Revo Rides, because it's a rideshare company on the blockchain. So basically the public owns the company. It's no CEO. The company is owned by the people. The value that's created by the people, like Uber value was created by the people. But the people, they got a little bit of the share of the capital by having drivers. But this is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about decentralization, blockchain technology, where the people actually own the company. Wow, whole different ball game. So again, you guys, this is one of the greatest times to be living because money is changing. And this is one of the greatest devastating economic times, or it could be the greatest exchange of wealth in history. It all depends on what side of the coin you want to be on. Again, if you do nothing, you're going to be on the side of the greatest economic devastation in the world. If you decide to change the way you think and start learning more about blockchain and go down that rabbit hole, you're going to find ways that you're going to be able to make money that you never ever thought was possible. And you don't have to be a programmer. You don't have to be a multimillionaire. All you got to do is be at the right place with the right people. So I want you guys to like and subscribe to this channel. I'm going to be talking more about how you can position yourself for generational wealth, how you can position yourself to get in where you fit in and be able to ride the trend. Because now BlackRock, now you got Vanguard, these huge corporations, you got Wall Street, all trying to get in cryptocurrency right now. They're all trying to get in where they fit in. They're all trying to take a position for this exchange of wealth. Again, like I said, blockchain has the most potential and probability of disrupting every single industry in the world. And disruption doesn't mean destruction of wealth, okay? Disruption means a redistribution of wealth, okay? That's what it means, because wealth is never destroyed. It only changes hands. Wealth is never destroyed. So where's all this money finna go? All these trillions of dollars. Right now we're in a $35 trillion debt. Who do we owe? That's interesting. How does the United States owe the United States? This is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the money. I don't want to talk about characteristics. I don't want to talk about, gender. I don't want to talk about race. I want to talk about the money. And neither one of these candidates is going to increase your financial destiny. Neither one of them. Because, again, things are changing rapidly. Okay? And now we're in a digital revolution. And if you guys don't put yourself in positions to catch some of this wealth, you're going to miss it. And I don't want you guys to miss it, because we've been missing too much. We've been missing too much. The average persons have been missing this different wealth exchanges. But now it's finna go to another level as far as the amount of wealth that the average person will be able to make with either AI or blockchain technology. Okay, $867 trillion was determined would be the disruptive factor with blockchain technology, meaning blockchain technology has the ability to disrupt over $867 trillion. That's way more than the $35 trillion of debt that we owe. Okay, are you going to be one of the ones that position yourself for some of this wealth, or are you going to sit back and do nothing and get rolled over by it, or end up using it like we did with the social media? Most of us use it, but we don't really capitalize on it. We're not really making money on it. I see a lot of young kids doing these dance moves, and they got all these followers and millions of followers, but they're not monetizing that. They're not capitalizing on that. I'm going to show you guys how you can capitalize and monetize blockchain technology. Like and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to keep bringing it to you live. Next week, I'm going to go live. I'm going to do a webinar. I'm going to promote the webinar, and I'm going to break down to you guys how you can get in position. And we're not talking about no get rich quick stuff. No, how you can position yourself for sure growth in your income and your family without working your behind off, without putting in all these long hours, but just by being at the right place at the right time. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and close out. Hey, you guys, good luck to you, whoever you're voting for. Good luck to you guys. I don't know who's going to win, but at the same time, like I said, neither one of them are going to change your personal financial destiny or your personal position in the world as far as economically and where you're going to be and the possibilities for you. It's just not going to change by these different candidates, because first of all, no president is in control of the monetary system. You got the International Monetary Fund, you got the Federal Reserve, which is really a central bank. It's not really the government, although they use the name federal, just like FedEx used the name Federal Express. They're not federal. It's just a name they came up with. That was the only way they were able to pass that law, the Central Bank Act, okay? Many of you guys may not understand why Abraham Lincoln was actually killed. It had nothing to do with slavery, because Abraham Lincoln in the Douglas Papers said out of his mouth he was not an abolitionist, meaning he wasn't for the abolishment of slavery. He was not for that. He was for the superiority over, certain race over another race. That's what he stood for. The reason he was killed, because he would not agree to allow a central bank in America, because he understood the role of central banks and the devastation of central banks in Europe. So because he wouldn't allow a central bank in America, that's why he was murdered. It had nothing to do with him freeing the slaves, because he didn't free the slaves. He emancipated them. As a big difference. The same thing with Kennedy. Kennedy wasn't murdered for any other reason but Executive Order 111110, which was the executive order in 1964 to back the currency by silver. And if any of you guys have an old dollar, I got them on my Instagram. I'm gonna start promoting this more and talking about this more. The US dollar used to be backed by gold. And in 1971, after Kennedy, then Nixon took the money off the gold. Okay, now Kennedy knew the money, the gold, there wasn't enough gold in Fort Knox to basically support the dollar, because it used to have on a dollar, upon the exchange of this note, the bearer of this note would receive equal amount in gold or silver. So he knew that it wasn't enough silver in Fort Knox to support that. So what happened was he had an executive order to change that. They killed him for that. So it's always about the money. And Donald Trump, one of the reasons he got shot at. Remember, my channel is called Follow the Buddy, because he said in a speech he was not going to support a CBDC, a central bank digital currency, which is what the commercial was about. When you guys watch the Wells Fargo commercial that's out now, saying one day you're going to wake up and you're not going to have any money in the bank and it's going to be replaced by a digital system. Wells Fargo got this commercial out. So this is going against the grain of the powers to be. They call it the deep state or whatever. It's going against the grain. That's why he was shot at. I'm wondering if he's going to change his tone now. But again, it's all about the money. It's always been about the money. It's about nothing else but the money. Remember that. And when you start following the money, you'll find a different narrative in history, and you'll find a different narrative in current events than what the media is telling you guys. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign out again. Good luck if you're going for Trump. Good luck if you're going for Kamala. But remember, neither one of these persons' policies is going to change inflation, is going to change the economic system in the world. They don't have the power to do that, because right now things are so far gone. They're just printing money. And in blockchain technology, you can't do that. You can only have so many cryptocurrencies per blockchain. That's why it makes it valuable, because supply and demand, when their supply doesn't keep up with the demand, then that product becomes valuable. So it's just basic one-on-one economics. But anyway, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign out. And I don't know, again, which one is going to prevail, but at the same time, it doesn't matter. It's going to all depend on what side of the coin you put yourself on. What you know is going to determine whether you're on the worst economic disaster ever in the history of the world, or the greatest exchange of wealth ever in the history of the world. Okay, so with that, I'm going to sign out. You guys have a great one. Okay, deuces.